All right, let's start packing. So we're going to continue with the Marvel Legends stuff today. Didn't get any more bags, so hopefully I don't know, I'll just probably set stuff off to the side that needs the bigger bags. Before we do that, I've got some new eBay stuff that came in, so I'm going to open that up, make sure it's all good to go. Just got done recording with Jordan. We've got 3 new episodes that we're going to be editing to put out. We've got a new leaks video talking about the new rectangular leaks. We've got a MCU predictions one, and then kind of what's happened already and what's still to come with like Legends, Legions, McFarlanes, all that stuff. Talked about the crazy prices for the new McFarlane stuff. That was wild. Why am I packing? Because my wife and I are building out a shuttle bus, and we're going to be traveling around the country for about a year or so. So while we're doing that, most of the collection is going to go into storage, and then I'll probably try to pack up like this size of a box to take with me, so I can do some like posing as we go around to different places. Probably going to have a box of that for Legends, and maybe another box of that for Legions, because I'd like to still do some pop and swaps for like as we're on the road and stuff. Not sure what I'm going to take for that. That'll be another. Well, I'll do a live stream maybe tomorrow packing up Legions, because I kind of want to get everything set out and then pick the like base figures that I want to bring, and then I can bring in a lot of the other parts too, because I've got kind of a shelving thing down here of all the different parts that I'm going to bring. Probably going to bring a lot of like red characters, because I've got a lot of things to pop and swap with that, but all this can't really fit with us in the bus, so we're going to be finishing up building the bus, but this lease ends, so we've got to move from here. So maybe I'll share you guys the bus channel once I get that up and going, because I want to show people kind of how we're building it, where we're going, all the travels like that. Did I see Rectangular's leaks? We just did a episode of 2 guys talking about another guy talking about leaks, so that'll be coming out tomorrow. You can go see our reaction to that, but I think we're pretty pumped. A lot of cool stuff on that. Definitely going to be a good year for Marvel Legends, I think. And I was already pretty hopeful, because like the Void Wave and the Mindless One Wave, those have all been pretty cool. So hopefully Hasbro's going to keep that trajectory going, packing in lots of stuff in the boxes. I'm excited for the 3-pack of Dum Dum Dugan, Sharon Carter, and Nick Fury. Also excited for Superior Spider-Man. I'm interested in the 4-pack with Loki, Doctor Doom, Iron Patriot, and Taskmaster. If you guys know why Taskmaster is in that 4-pack, let me know, because when we were doing the recording, Jordan and I couldn't figure out why it was Taskmaster and not Namor or the Hood or Emma Frost, because those are all part of that cabal, and Taskmaster wasn't. So why is he a part of that 4-pack? Because that didn't really make any sense to me. Yes, so we're gonna like I'm still gonna do all the podcast recording stuff, because even when we're in the bus traveling around, I'm still gonna be part of the groups, still doing the podcast, still doing videos, still collecting. So I'm just gonna do more of my collecting. I'm gonna either mail it to Jordan. Jordan's gonna get all my Mythic Legions probably, just because for some reason with 4 Horsemen they don't charge tax to Iowa. So since Jordan lives in Iowa, he's getting all those, so I get my savings and don't have to pay taxes. And then for like Legends and stuff like that, I'm going to be much more selective. But if it's something that comes out, like if we get some more like Crystar figures, those are going to be instant buys for me. I'll probably ship those to my sister, and then she can put them in storage for me, because we're sharing a storage unit with her. That's kind of the plan so far. Still going to be collecting, just not going to be as much room to display. And it's going to be much more picky and choosy of what I'm getting. So also I hope like as we go around the country, I'm able to do kind of like some Facebook pickups, and like maybe I can do some live streams of hauls that I'm going to like buy and then flip and sell. Because so far that's how I've been able to buy everything collection wise. Haven't had to spend any money from like my wife and I's account. It all comes from I sell figures and then use that money to buy new figures. So I don't know how that's going to be able to maintain through the road, But like I said, hopefully as we go around to different places, I'm able to buy collections from people that are getting out of collecting, and then sell those. So we'll see. Taskmaster. I don't think Taskmaster was in the Cabal. I thought it was Norman Osborn, Doctor Doom, Namor, the Hood, and Emma Frost. I didn't think Taskmaster was a part of it because at first I was thinking it was him, but it was the Hood. So maybe he was Jordan was thinking it was just kind of one of Norman Osborn's go-to henchmen because I had just read the Dark Reign not too long ago, and I don't remember ever seeing. I didn't read all the tie-ins, so maybe he was kind of like an adjacent member of the Cabal, but I don't remember him being in it because Norman didn't tell Doom about it. He wasn't happy. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to go back and reread those because I really did like those stories too. So it's not going to be the end of the world if I've got to go back and reread some Dark Reign. Because that's like one of my favorite time periods of like I need to go back and reread Civil War. I read those as a kid, but got to go back and like appreciate it more now. So I'd like to go back and reread Civil War. But then I've read Dark Reign through up until like Avengers versus X-Men. Then I kind of skipped over that because I've already read it. And then I was reading like New Avengers. But I love that time frame of comics. That's my favorite. Um, just about to finish Invincible. I've got all of those down there. That's my number one favorite. I love Invincible. Are you wanting to read Marvel comics? Because if you're wanting to read Marvel comics, I would recommend you go to Marvel Unlimited and get that app, or you could even wait until they have a deal running, or even like your local library is going to have a bunch of stuff too. Um, I would say it kind of depends too. Like, do you like Spider-Man, X-Men? I really liked the Dark Reign stuff, but everything kind of builds on itself around that time period. So like Civil War is super cool, but then you get into Secret Invasion, which is really cool. But then it's almost more cool to read the tie-ins for that. So that's why I really like the Marvel Unlimited app because then you can go to like the reading guide and it gives you all those tie-ins and you can just read it like boom, boom, boom together. Because Secret Invasion itself, the like 6-issue series was cool, but it just gets so much cooler like the more expanded you can make that story. Let's see. Oh, Emma Frost and Namor left. Did they leave after Dark X-Men? Because I didn't read that tie-in. Um, or did I? No, I don't think I did read that tie-in because it was like those two and Dark Beast, I think. Um, so yeah. Um, Hickman Ultimate Spider-Man. I've read some Ultimate Spider-Mans, but I haven't read like all the way through. I would like to read those. I just gotten like random volumes, I think, from Half Price Bookstore. Um, but what I've read, I've liked. I just need to get back and read more of it because since I've got the unlimited app, I plan on reading. I don't know. I'll probably get through like the first 50 issues, but there's like 153, I think, issues in Ultimate Spider-Man, that like original Ultimate Spider-Man run, which eventually I plan on getting all the way through. But that's a hefty amount of books to read, so it might take me a while to even get it started. Because I just started reading Champions because Ironheart's in that. Ironheart's one of my favorites, and I'm kind of liking the like younger team of like X-Men, like from All New X-Men, and Cyclops joins the Champions. So I haven't read anything with Ms. Marvel in it, like Kamala Khan. Wanted to get some more of that. So that's what I'm going to read right now. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man is definitely on my list of things to read. Um, I mean, I think like if you just wanted to read like a one and done story, which is kind of how I like to read things right now. Like I said, Ultimate Spider-Man can get a little bit daunting because we have to read 150 issues to like finish it, and I like to see like when I finish it, it like takes it off the list of like currently reading. So that's kind of satisfying, but not quite necessary. You can read parts of stories because like you're never going to go back and read all of Batman 1 through 600. Or, I guess you could, but that's huge. Um, I would say Planet Hulk is one of my favorite, like condensed, like here's the story. You don't really need to go outside of it too much. and it's like a one and done. But then if you like that, then you can go into like Planet Hulk or Planet Hulk into World War Hulk, another cool one. Um, and those are pretty self-contained. It's not going to take you like a long time, hundreds of issues to read. It's probably like less than 20 issues between the two stories. And you could read some of the tie-ins too. Like you get Avengers, World War Hulk, and Ghost Rider and all that stuff. If you really like them, you can expand that story. But those ones are good, like self-contained. You don't have to branch out, and they're still awesome. So that's probably one of my number one favorite um, Marvel books to read. So yeah, let me know if you've read that one or not. But yeah, highly recommend. All right, I'm going to open up some of these packages that I got this past week while I was on vacation from eBay, completing my Crystar collection. Like I said, love the figure. Once they announced the figure, I realized that I had some older ones from when I was a kid. And then I was like I was just talking about self-contained stories that aren't hundreds of issues to read. Crystar is only 11 issues long, and I was missing issue number 8, so that's what this should be. And then I saw that they also had 2 kind of kids books, like these smaller, like this size. So grabbed those because there was only 2 of them. These are in pretty good condition. Like the spine is, these haven't actually even been read. Oh man, makes me very wary to open them. But you can kind of see the art in there. Darn, I'm gonna have to find a worse set of these now so I can actually open them and look at them. Because yeah, the spine is too good and should not be damaged. I don't know, if you guys were getting, like, these are just not really expensive. They're like $15 for both of them, maybe less, 10, 15 with shipping. But it's just, they're so clean. Like, look at that. There's just, I don't know, whatever. Maybe they'll get read. Maybe I'll find some crappy versions that I can just flip through and enjoy. But it's the same story that I've got in the comic books, just slightly different art. But yeah, kind of the origins of Crystar in that one. And this one is just kind of more like they're already Crystar and Moltar are crystal and lava, so it's a little bit more into the story. But then this one should be my Crystar number 8. This one was the most expensive out of the collection, I think, because something to do with the cover. It's some band, I think. I was talking to the guy at the comic book shop, and I think they were selling theirs for like $75, which was, I probably will never pay that much money for any comic book ever in my life. Like, it'd have to be like a graded book for me to consider that. But the comic book shop always is kind of overpriced, in my opinion. Like, they'll be selling a Spawn number 1 that I think me and Jordan got it for like $25-ish, and they're selling it for $75. So eBay's usually my go-to for getting comics that I'm wanting. Because I also don't need a perfect grade either. Like, I'm trying to read this book, so like I was saying with those books, it's kind of better if it's a little bit messed up so that I don't feel bad about ruining a perfect condition comic or anything. Pretty well packed from whoever this is from. Okay. There we go. Crystar number 8. That's a pretty clean copy too. I mean, it's definitely got like spine ticks and some corner damage, but that's totally fine with me. I would prefer it have the spine damage and corner stuff. So that's next up on my list to read. I got up to number 8, and then I've got the rest of the series, so I'll read those maybe later today. I'll put those over with my other comics. I've got a giant stack of comics to try to sell too before we move. Probably, I mean, I think most of this box is stuff to sell, and then just single issues. I've got a stack probably a foot tall over there. But all right, we're like 20 minutes into this, and I haven't packed a single thing. So let's get started with that. I've already packed about half of this tote. So, and I've got This stuff over here is to sell. So everything in here is for sale. Pulled out, what do we get so far? Got Colossus from the Colossus Juggernaut 2-pack, Havoc from Havoc and Polaris 2-pack, X-Men 97 Wolverine, Omega Red from the Sauron Build-A-Figure Wave, Retro 2099, Yondu, and then the Deccan, and a Spawn Ninja. So those are all for sale. Also got the Collect and Connect King Shark. He's going for sale. And then just some of the older stuff that I had in here previously, like a extra Hulk from the Hulk and Banner 2-pack. I think Banner's in there too. Null, 80th Grey Hulk, Vulcan. Oh, I did pull out this old X-Men classic Colossus, sending him on his way. I've got the Toy Biz Marvel Legends one. Kind of like this one. If he doesn't sell, I won't be too upset. I'll store him away and keep him, but I just don't really need two of essentially the same figure, just slightly different reds and yellows. But still a cool figure. I like him. All right. Today, let's pack up. Let's see. Who doesn't have a ton of parts and pieces? I think most people left have a lot of parts and pieces. Let's see. Hello, Jamiji, the X-Men fan. Hello. I've got these Carnage drones. I got these, they were kind of customized. The faces are painted to be from the Donny Cates story. I got 3 of those. Kind of my army builder Carnage drones to go with my Null. They don't have any of their alternate heads or anything, I don't think, so those are just going in. I think I got those for like $10 each or something like that, like a $30 lot. That was pretty good. I was happy with that. Retro, or not retro, but Spider-Man, Armored Spider-Man. I don't know what happened to his extra leg things, so maybe I'll have to find those. Ideally, I would like to pack him in with those. These are just McFarlane stands in here. Yeah, so that doesn't need to be packed right now. Probably pack those on top of the Marvel Legends or maybe at the bottom of another box. Alright, those and the Ravens for Thor. Oh, there's my other alternate head for Null. I don't know if I packed him yet. I knew I had that. Ravens for Thor. I'm going to put these all in the same bin because I'm going to forget those for sure. I need to sell some of these Steel Mutants and different like die-cast ones. Because I had a bunch of those and then I was able to find a really good price for a pretty big lot. But I had already had a bunch of them, so it was kind of doubling me up on some extras that I didn't need. Put the wings in here. These can go up with the McFarlanes. Oh wait, did I pack Null yet? I hope not. Because I thought I'd packed, oh no, he's over here. Good. Probably gonna need a bigger bag for him though, so he'll stay out. Have I seen the Marvel Legends leaks? I have. We're gonna actually be talking about those on tomorrow's episode of the podcast. So tune in, that should go live at like 4:45 tomorrow. Jordan and I just got done recording that before I jumped on here and went live. So yeah, we're pretty excited about a lot of those. I think it's going to be a good year for Marvel Legends. Jordan's super pumped about getting a Superior Spider-Man. That's one of his favorite Spider-Man stories of all time. And then I'm interested to know, we were talking earlier about the 4-pack of Doctor Doom, Loki, Iron Patriot, and Taskmaster, trying to figure out why Taskmaster is included in that, because I don't remember Taskmaster being a part of the Cabal, but who was it earlier saying that they might have joined in after Emma Frost and Namor left the Cabal. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that one's one that we are tempted by because Jordan loves Doctor Doom. I've been wanting an Iron Patriot. A 4-pack though is probably going to cost over $100. That's kind of a rough price to be paying, but we'll see. Because I think, I don't know, it seems like it's cool. And also, is Loki going to be Lady Loki or regular, like classic looking Loki? Because I would assume it's a Lady Loki, but we've already gotten the retro Lady Loki and the A-Force Lady Loki. The leader is, I don't know, I like the leader to kind of go with my AIM figures. I don't know if there would be another look for the leader that I would really want. Like, I know there's kind of like broccoli sack looking head, but I don't know if I think I'd prefer the like tall brain head. Hopefully they have accessories. Yeah, and that's kind of the hard thing with like, because that Strife 5-pack from Amazon really wasn't that packed in with accessories. So I would hope that they come with stuff, but who knows? It's Marvel Legends, so it's sometimes they can be packed in stuff like Deadpool, Hydra Bob, and then sometimes they can just completely forget to put anything in there. Like with that Strife 5-pack, like it just seemed so. Like you got the big portal effect. It's 0, but is that enough to warrant like hardly anybody? Like, was there even an alternate head in that whole pack? And like, do you need those characters need alternate heads? Maybe not. I think Pretty Boy came packed with the most accessories, but then like Vertigo came with nothing. I think it'd be cool if we saw some like Vertigo power effects, because I think those would go well with multiple characters. Just kind of make that like a, kind of the Vertigo green, pink, white color kind of effect. And then you can give a blue effect, give it to Magneto. You could even, like, any of those like telekinesis type powers, it would work for that too. Make it pour it onto the mouth, give it to Banshee. All right, let's see how many Hydra goons I have. So we've got, let's aim. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes, and then the big one. 6. I don't think I need 6. How many do I have for aim? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then plus the little flyer guy, and plus the scientist. Definitely going to sell at least one of these goons. It's a pretty decent display up there, but it would be nice to have 3 more up there. I think we're going to sell one of them. Put that on a side for Wesley, because I know Wesley, the guy who made our diorama for the giveaway, he wants some more goons for his displays. Another army builder grouping I've got 4 of the Vault Guards, which I think are pretty underrated as far as army builders go. They're super cheap. You can probably buy them from the groups for like less than $10 each. And they go well for fighting your Venom. I've got some cool displays with that. Ultrons. I've got one of the newer Ultrons, and then I've got 3 of the Ursa Major Ultrons. Is it necessary to have this newer Ultron? He's definitely the least favorite. I'm going to probably sell him, actually. I need to find his accessories, though. I think those might be back here. Yeah. Actually, I might not have any accessories for that. Nope. He is as is. 2 fists, though. So, I mean, if you're going to get an Ultron as is, I think I would prefer having him as fists. Hope Hasbro makes an update to the Jim Lee Cyclops. I think Jordan and I have talked about that possibly being in the Black Widow body mold, because I think that makes the most sense. What are these accessories for? Oh, look at that. Oh, shoot. Uh, Wesley, if you're watching this on the replay, or I'll text you later, did you buy one of my Ultrons? Because if you did, I've got his extra hands, or at least some of his extra hands here. I didn't think I had those, but I guess I do. And then the extras will go with this Loki, so let me pack him up. And Wesley, if you want the other Loki to army build your stuff, let me know. I'm going to make a separate bag for that so I don't forget. But yeah, Wesley was the one that made our diorama back here that we gave away, which I'm going to be packing up and shipping that out tomorrow. Let's see. Those two and that. All right. Complete set of hands there. Oh, also let me know. I think you probably need the fists. So I got one fist here and then open hand. So you probably have a fist and an open hand is my guess. And then if they're not yours, then I'll just give this guy a bunch of extra hands and stuff. So those will be in a separate bag. And these are in your bag. So I do all of my selling, or me and Jordan both do all of our selling either mostly on the Facebook group because there's less fees involved with that. But then if we have kind of higher ticket items or newer stuff that maybe people aren't likely to buy in the groups or not to pay top dollar for, then we'll take those to eBay, like this Mythic Legion Valiant Knight, which is a super cool figure, but since it's newer, it goes pretty high. I sold one about a month ago, I think, for I think $100, $101, something like that. And then this one sold for 75, but they're going to come out with a new one next month. So I figured I might as well send mine on its way, and then I'll get one of the other ones at retail price. So I sold them for 170. So I made like $175 off of them, and I can buy two more for $37 each. So that's my plan. Yeah, we're definitely excited for the Legends leaks from Rectangular. It seemed weird that it took so long for him to get the leaks because usually he's like, boom, on top of it. But yeah, it's a lot of good stuff. I would love to see an updated version of Toxin, kind of like this. Like I know there's the Monster Toxin, and then there's the other, is that Hobgoblin Wave or something like that? I don't really like either one of those. This is my go-to Toxin because it looks more like I think it was the first appearance of Toxin in kind of that mini series of like Venom and Carnage. I like that art too. So if that's another good one. You were asking for comic book recommendations. That's like a 4-issue series, but pretty cool. I like the art. Black Cat's in it, Spider-Man, and then yeah, Toxin kind of is born in that series. Good one. Let's see, any others that don't? Oh yeah, it's another one. Speaking of Rectangular leaks, we're putting Venom Pool out to pasture, so he's going in the sale box. Grab out his extra hands. Put him down here because I need a bag to put those hands in. Yeah, I got to look and see how much he's going for. Hopefully he's still going for high, but Rectangular says a new one's coming, so old one's getting sold. Let's see, can I fit? Do you guys remember if Avalanche came with extra hands? I thought he did, but I can't seem to find his extra hands if he did come with extras. But I also remember being kind of annoyed that he was super bare bones, so maybe he actually didn't come with anything extra. Oh, are those his hands? I think these are his hands. Haha, we found him. He's got fists and open hands, possibly. These look like the same kind of silver. Oh yeah, perfect. This Avalanche was very disappointing. I don't think he was on my most disappointing of the year, but he was. I don't know. His colors are cool, but he just should have come with some sort of power set effect or something like that because he just seems so plain. got him packed up. I'm pretty excited to fill out some more Brotherhood of Mutants. I'm going to get Destiny and Mystique. I'll probably get that pack because I don't have a Mystique yet. You're selling your Carnage this week? Which Carnage do you have? Do you have the... Because I've got this... I don't even know what wave this was. Carnage. But then there's also the 2-pack Carnage. Jordan and I were trying to decide what Carnage that was. I mean, the retro carded Carnage is probably going to be pretty similar to this one. But that 2-pack one, we're both hoping that it's going to be that newer look where it's kind of like that mix of like Carnage and Null. More kind of like the rib cage look and the giant armor. Now that you say that, Carnage is gone. Good point. Good reminder. I don't think I have any extras for him. Do I? No. I think he came as... Oh, maybe I do. Did he come with the unmasked head? I think this one did. I might keep that just in case the other one doesn't come with an unmasked head. So, I'm not quite selling him completely complete. And I thought I had another Carnage... Because I've got an extra Carnage drone head, but I don't have another Carnage without the drone head. Yeah, all right, these go with him. But then I also almost want to keep this Carnage to pop and swap. Like if the other one doesn't come with an axe hand, I'd kind of like him to have an axe hand, plus this giant claw hand. But then if the other one comes with it, then this one's not going to sell as good. I'll probably just sell him, well, complete-ish. I'm keeping the unmasked head. But do I ever display him unmasked? Do I need that? Same one you have? Yeah. I'm pretty sure this What If shirt is from Target. I think it was a Christmas gift last year from one of my sisters. So I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I would assume like Target or maybe Hot Topic. All right, what do you guys think? Do I keep the unmasked Carnage head or do I sell it with Carnage? Probably helps his value a little bit, but also, is the other one going to come with an unmasked head? I'm going to throw it in there for now because I usually never display him as unmasked, but it kind of does go well with the Legion figure. Pop off the Legion head and then use the Carnage as kind of like the prison Carnage. I pop and swapped, speaking of Carnages, got this Ben Reilly Spider-Man. I'm selling the original Ben Reilly because I don't really like that body so much, but this newer retro Ben Reilly with the Spider Carnage stuff is pretty cool. So keeping that one. Let's pack him up. I've got his extras back here too. He came with extra hands. So I got all the Spider-Man hands, plus, is this his head? I've got 2 Spider-Man heads in here. I think one of them goes to the other. Yeah. That one goes to the other, so I'll pull that one out. Regular Spider-Man head. Ben Reilly hands. I think some of these hands go with the old one too, so I'm going to need to pull them out and get those in there. Got an extra web slinging hand. I think that's just an extra. I don't even think I need that. Oh, are these? What is what? Whoops. Lost to the carpet monsters. All right, that's an old hand. That's a new hand. Old hands. New hands. All right, these go with the sell pile. These are the new hands to keep. So I use all of these little bins to kind of separate my accessories, but I don't want somebody to accidentally knock something over in storage and then all my accessories go scattering around on the floor, and then there's no way I'm ever going to find those again. But this used to be my grandpa's like toolbox for like screws and nails and bolts and things like that. I'm not really man enough to have tools and things that would require such apparatus, but yeah, I can use it for my toys. So, don't know if Grandpa would be happy to see me using it for toys, or if he'd be like, wow, my grandson is a child. Probably not. He's not a jerk or anything, so I'm happy to be using it still. Get this bagged up, so I need his other web shooter thing. I was going to sell it just like headless, handless, but now that I remember I've got all these parts and pieces, we don't have to do that. Head on there. Yep. And then I'll get some hands on there to make sure that the bracelet things don't fall off, because what's Ben Riley without his bracelets? Hands are very snug in there. Okay. Yeah, this is just an outdated body that is not necessary. The new one is so much better. I like that retro, like symbiote Spidey articulation. I think that's a pretty A+ figure. I like the Amazing Fantasy body is my favorite, but for the symbiote suit Spider-Man, definitely the others. Quicksilver Man-Thing, Superior Spidey, Hulkbuster. Yeah, I think Hulkbuster is going to be, I want to see him first, because Hulkbuster could be super cool. It could also be a little bit like, if there's like some where he's like bubbly with like a taller head. I don't love those as much. But if it was going to be more like the Toy Biz one, which I think he's packed a little bit deeper, I think that one's a great look. So if they could just update that, I would be a happy camper for him. Let's pack up Black Widow. I was debating to bring Black Widow in the bus with us, but I think she's going to stay behind. I just haven't really, like, she's a good figure, but I'm not as hyped for her as I am as some other people are. The articulation, like the diaphragm articulation, is fine, but I would like it to go forward more. And the ab crunch, I would love to get some Marvel Legends that could easily get into like a deep Spider-Man pose without too much issue. She's close, but not. I don't know. I just didn't love her as much as a lot of people did. Like, she wasn't in my top 5 for the year. Maybe she would make my top 10. I'm more excited about like what she means to becoming, because I think we're going to get a lot of other cool figures from her. Like somebody was mentioning Psylocke earlier, I think we're going to get Psylocke on her, like updated articulation. I think a new Black Cat would be cool. I think we're supposed to be getting a Storm. And I think I'm actually going to bring her alternate heads and her accessories into the bus, because I plan on bringing the Shield agents, and I really like my Shield agent version of Black Widow. I think it's pretty cool. So let's see. So yeah, I like that. I'm probably going to bring this with me in the bus, because I think having the Shield agents kind of going through some of the like woodsy areas will look good. So that's my plan. In for Swamp Thing and the Kazar 3-pack. Not sure about anything else. Not sure about anything else. What? Superior Spider-Man was cool. Like I said, Man-Thing. Who else was I excited for? Warbird. I definitely need a Warbird in my collection. I've been wanting her for a while, and I don't want to pay those extra high prices from the 3-pack one. Interested in the Fantastic Four Wolverine. Was that in the leaks? I don't remember seeing Fantastic Four Wolverine in his video. Bombastic Bagman. Yeah, Hasbro did put him in the multi-pack, unfortunately. I don't know. What are you going to do? It's Hasbro. Hasbro's going to Hasbro. Everybody knows that. It's unfortunate, but just because he's in the multi-pack doesn't mean he's going to stay in the multi-pack. I'm sure we're going to get a single carded of Iron Patriot if they're making him in the multi-pack. It just is kind of unfortunate that the first one we get is going to be in a multi-pack and it's going to cost over $100. But like I said, if it's in a multi-pack, chances are eventually it's going to be out single carded. So, can't be too, I mean, be upset, but don't expect it's never going to come out again. Iron, yeah, I hope they do a good job with him. I mean, if he's going to be in the 3-pack or in the 4-pack, I don't know. I just hope they pull out all the stops and make it worth the money. Which, like, they've been doing a decent job of packing figures in with stuff. I just hope they can keep doing a good job of it. It's $100 is going to be a lot to pay for a 4-pack, and that's not even going to be $100. It's going to be probably 110, 120. Because if you're thinking $25 per figure, at minimum, it's going to be $100. But I think they probably would add to that a little bit, just because, that's just, it seems like how Hasbro does those. But I could be pleasantly surprised if they don't. I'm gonna keep all her stuff together. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all her stuff together. I'm just gonna set her off to the side because she's got a chance of making it into the bus. She's got a chance. Got this extra Venom. I don't think I have any parts and pieces for him. Do I? No. Well, that is his fists and hands. All right. I guess I do have extra parts and pieces for him, but there's no way he's fitting in a regular sandwich bag, right? Well, let's see. I think he's going to be too tall, but he might just barely fit. Nope, he does not fit. He's going to have to, well, if I take his head off, he might fit. I think I've got his other head on my 3-pack Venom. I really like popping and swapping these Venom heads because they kind of all go with each other. Let's see. Well, it's not going to quite shut, but it'll get close. It's not going anywhere. All right, what am I missing? Mostly villains. Another Spidey or Wolverine doesn't interest you. That's understandable. I mean, there's still. I didn't really love this new X-Men '97 Wolverine, so I don't mind getting another Wolverine. I would like an Astonishing X-Men Wolverine. That one I'll definitely be picking up, and I don't know if I need another Tiger Stripe Wolverine until that one comes out, honestly. Probably shouldn't, because the Astonishing X-Men one would be, it would fit as a regular Tiger Striped, and I would like to fill out the Astonishing X-Men. You're asking for what you should read Marvel-wise? Astonishing X-Men, I can't remember who it is, but it's that kind of like the figures we're getting for Astonishing X-Men. That's my favorite X-Men storyline. And I say it's like 15 issues, maybe it's more, it might be 20 something. It's 3 or 4 volumes. But that's a really good story. That one, like I was reading, and it takes you one to the next, and I didn't want to put it down. I was super happy with how that one was. It was super fun. And the art in that one's really cool too. Another Doctor Doom. Yeah, I don't have a Doctor Doom in my collection right now. Jordan has like 20 in his, so he's he'll always take a new Doctor Doom. I don't know if he kept the retro. I know he has the Scroll Wave one, and he's got a ton of the Doom bots from Toy Biz. I would expect something similar to the Scroll Wave, just slightly different colors, but I don't think it's much different look. It'd be cool if they gave him some like cooler spell casting effects, because like he came with those books before, but I want to see like a giant like clear up over his head type of, or like even like 2 hands like poured it into both sides, and it's a big arch of kind of Kirby crackle bubbles above him. Yeah, he didn't mention a wasp, so I wonder if that's going to be part of one of those. I'm gonna, I don't know. When we were talking, you'll hear it in the episode tomorrow. I was thinking maybe it would be in the retro card from, because he was saying Rectangular was saying that there was going to be an Avengers Wave retro card I thought that would be Wasp, but then that would kind of be unfortunate to get a second Wasp in the retro cards already because she was in the other wave with the tiny Ant-Man, but now we're going to get another retro. So maybe she'll be a part of a Build-A-Figure wave, but then even that seems unlikely. So maybe it would be in the, what was it, the Amazing, or not Amazing, Strange Tales? Was that one of the waves kind of, or like the categories that he was talking about? Maybe that's where she would fit in. Oh, okay. I missed the Wolverine Fantastic Four look. But that would be kind of cool. I think, do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. Will I get it? Maybe if it goes on sale. If it goes on sale, there's a pretty good chance that I get that 2 pack. If I if I could be more mature and show some restraint, I would probably pass. But Wolverine and Spider-Man, come on, those are two cool characters. They would go together. Um, yeah, so we'll see, I guess. Um, yeah, it seemed like Dan, when he was talking about the Ghost Rider, he was trying to like heavily, like the writer's box thing was going to be not a vehicle Ghost Rider. So that's where I was thinking I was going to be like Kazar and Zabu. But it does seem like I just really hope they don't do like a Danny Ketch without his motorcycle because that would just annoy the heck out of people. So I hope it's that. I'm kind of surprised that there's no Daredevil or Secret Wars stuff. I think it's coming because Dan, if you go back and watch our most recent video, we talked about Dan mentioning on the ACBA podcast that they're going to do 3 anniversary series this year. One of them, I'm assuming, is Wolverine, and then I'm assuming another one is, well, I mean, like obviously one is Wolverine. I'm assuming one is going to be Secret Wars, and I'm hoping another one is going to be Daredevil. Yeah, Hasbro has to know that people want a Danny Ketch Ghost Rider because, like, even they've talked about it on other podcasts and stuff too, and everybody has been asking for it. It would be really unfortunate if they made that as a standalone figure, kind of like the retro Ghost Rider was, and not give him a bike. I really hope they just kind of pull out the stops there. Brand new bike, brand new Ghost Rider, because we're kind of tired of seeing that same Ghost Rider reused and reused, um, and just make Danny Ketch look a little bit different. So that's my hope. Um, Time will tell. Yeah, rectangular never has everything, which I think is fun because I want to know kind of a majority of everything. So I know, like I said, like I'm pulling out my Venom pool and my Carnage to sell. Collect a Disconnect was saying he's selling his Carnage. It's nice to know those things so you can kind of get in on the jump to sell things before they tank in value after they've been released. Um, but yeah, he never has everything. Like usually there's going to be some Pulse exclusive that he doesn't see. He usually sees more retail type stuff, and it maybe some other things above and beyond that too. But usually the exclusives aren't things that he sees. So there's definitely going to be more than just that list. Because even last year, when his list was like even bigger, there was still stuff that we didn't know were coming from the list. So there's always surprises. Yeah, the retro card Ghost Rider. I think Jordan and I both had him, but we both kind of decided, nah. If there's no bike, it's a decent figure, and if you had the other bike, it works out pretty decently. Like I've gotten the bike separately in a lot, so yeah, yeah. I'm kind of tired of Ghost Riders not coming with bikes. I think they could do the bike if they wanted to. They just don't do it sometimes for some reason, just to save money, I'm sure. Mm, yeah, I mean the retro or not the retro. I think out of the Ghost Riders we have so far, I think the Rhino Wave one is my favorite. But it's kind of like how I like my Venoms, where I want a lot of pieces from different Venoms to make cooler Venoms. Like I would want the Ghost Rider from the Rhino wave with the chain from either the retro or um, the actual bike. I would probably want the actual bike, and then I would probably also want. Didn't the retro one come with extra like open skull hands? So I think that would be cool to have too. So it's kind of like you have to buy all of them to make your perfect Ghost Rider, which is kind of annoying, but that's how Hasbro gets you to keep buying. The Lobo, yeah, you got the Lobo with the bike because that one did look cool. I like that. That was kind of expensive though. I think I can't remember what the price was on it. I thought it was like a good price at first, and then I was kind of looking into it more. I was like, there's not really a ton of accessories here, but Lobo is a really cool character, so I was pretty excited to see that too. Yeah, waiting for the sale. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't finish the comment, but yeah, wait for the sale, and that's going to be a good pickup, I think. Yeah, I mean, if you've got your core teams, there's not really much you need. Like Hasbro definitely still has a few figures to put out to finish some teams, but there are a lot of like alternate versions of costumes and things like that that maybe aren't really necessary, which is I think is it's always good because you don't want to have to buy everything, or at least that's kind of the way I look at things is I want to see things that I don't want. Like there are things that I want made that I never want to personally own, but I'd like to see them out in existence. Like that's kind of where Patch and Smart Hulk fit in for me. I'm glad that they're made, but they're not characters that I necessarily need in my collection. And I get to save money and then buy something else that I want later and not feel like I'm like constantly spending money on my collection. The retro that's what we're talking about it tomorrow in the um, episode. But yeah, I was saying because I know Rectangular had said maybe it's going to be a Savage Land Professor X. I think it's the last one that they need to complete that X-Men team in that blue and yellow costumes is if they do the big cape and the gold helmet Professor X. That seems like a long shot, but it seems like it makes sense. Like it's a weird version of him, and the it would be so much easier to do a Savage Land because you could just take pretty much Red Skull and just like swap the head and different color paint, and then that's what, or like the Hank Pym, it's the same character, different head. So it's easier, but I think it'd be cooler to see that team completely finished. Um, like I said, it probably is going to be the Savage Land look, but I hope it's not. Going to go to Legions Con again. Yes, so we went to Legions Con this past year. We went for Fit You, which is my coaching business. I do online personal training and coaching using steel maces. So I went to Legions Con kind of with the idea of if I coach with steel maces, some of the legions will use maces or hammers or things like that. I can coach you how to also work out with a hammer, steel mace type of thing. Um, and then that was kind of a cool, like we got to talk to a lot of people. They were a little bit confused at first of kind of like what's going on over here. But then once I showed them, I was like, this is kind of the tool that they're using and you can use too. And then I had a bunch of 3D printed maces. So if you guys want any 3D printed maces, send me an email, strongcollectors@gmail.com. I've got a bunch of them left over. Um, or I probably can throw them in with any of these. If you see me in the group selling stuff, just say you want a steel mace to go with it, and I'll just toss it in for free. I had one of my ninjas that I coached. She 3D printed them for me, and she was like super cheap about it. So good quality stuff, but she just like hardly charged me anything. But yeah, Legions Con was super fun. I don't know exactly where we're going to be at in traveling. I've got a spot booked for Legions Con this upcoming year. I'll be in the hallway because like my stuff is pretty different from like the figures. Like I'm not selling figures. I'm not selling like custom stuff. I'm selling like a fitness package type of thing, or like a service. So it doesn't really make sense to like have with the figures and stuff. So I'm like outside in the hallway, but then that gives me more room to kind of demonstrate what I'm doing, and kind of show off the different moves that you can do with the steel mace. So the goal is to go, but if we end up in like California at the time, I'm not probably not going to fly out because I can't take my maces, on a plane, or I could maybe take a mace on a plane. But when we went to Legions Con this past year, I brought like several 10-pound maces, several 5-pound maces, several sevens, and a 20-pound mace, and that's all way too much to fly with. So it'll kind of depend, but that's the goal, is to be there. Yeah, MCUs are kind of always peg warmers, no matter how good the movies are. Um, they just don't really pop on the collection as much as other comic versions do. So yeah, I mean, I would like a Cohorty and another Captain Carter in like either the 1602 or the Infinity outfit. I think those are both pretty cool, but those would probably be the only two that I'd really want. Like definitely a Cohorty. She'd be my number one MCU want. But outside of that, probably don't need another. Unarticulated metal chain. That's probably good. I don't see Hasbro doing that anytime soon. I haven't seen any like in-hand reviews of the Mezco Ghost Rider, but I would assume that's got to come with a metal chain, right? Like a wired, you can kind of pose it around how you want it. Because I also don't like Marvel Legends bendy wires. Like they just don't. I think they bend 90 degrees, but that's about as far as you can get them. I haven't had the new Doc Ock though. Maybe that one bends better. I just don't think the bendy wire tech is there for me to really care about it. Carter Slade with a horse. I think you commented that on our video, and I agree. But do you think Hasbro could actually do a good horse? I don't know. Mythic Legions probably does the best horses right now, but that's probably too big. But I have seen some really cool customs, of that Carter Slade on Arethyr's horse, so it's possible. Oh, you think we'd get one of those in the 97 wave? I never even thought of that. Is that how that goes? Is that like Professor X goes to like hang out with the Shi'ars and then he comes back in that way? I didn't know. I kind of flipped through that comic just to see what was going on with that Professor X, um, but I didn't read it. So that is an interesting idea. I like that. I kind of hope that happens now. No, I don't like the X-Men 97 Magneto either. I have it just because it's 25 bucks and the Family Matters one was a little bit more expensive. I mean, it's a classic Magneto. They're going to do another one eventually. So you could just hold out and keep waiting. Um, I haven't had the Mafex one. It's probably pretty good. I just don't know how it would scale. But if you kind of put them on a flight stand and get them in a dynamic pose, maybe the scale doesn't necessarily have to line up exactly. That'd be another option, but it's a little bit more expensive. But then it's your one and done Magneto. So we'll see. Never been to any con, but Legion's Con would be my choice if I could. Yeah, yeah, Judge Dredd's. If you can go to Legion's Con, that would be not my number one. If I could only pick one con to ever go to, like throughout the year, Legion's Con is the one to go to. The people are awesome, and like even if you don't only collect Legions, people are there selling Marvel Legends and NECA and stuff like that too. It's going to be a little bit less than maybe your other cons, but um, getting to see people's customs are insane. Like they do such a good job with those. Um, I I think I do pretty decent custom. I mean, like I've only painted heads really as far as like my painting customs go, but their customs are wild. Um, and being able to like see the people that you see in the Cabal and on those live streams. Obviously, Strong Collectors is your favorite Mythic Legions podcast, but maybe your other second favorite YouTubers for Mythic Legions are there too. But yeah, it's definitely the go to for sure. I think I would go to Legions Con and then maybe PowerCon. I've never been there, but it seems pretty cool too. But like New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con, it's like it almost seems too corporate now, where it just doesn't seem as fun to go to. But I mean, that could just be me. Maybe it is still cool to go. Um, I've never been to San Diego Comic Con, but I've been to New York Comic Con, and it was, like I said, it was cool, but probably not necessarily something I need to go to again. just because, like I said, it just feels a little bit more corporate, like you're going to talk to like salespeople versus going to talk to the people that are actually sitting down painting these customs. I gotta plug in my computer. We're almost out of battery, which kind of makes sense. We recorded 3 episodes and then now live streaming. I should probably make sure my phone is also going to do all right. All right. MC Red Hulk, I just don't see it being as good as the other ones. Like, it'll probably be fine for what it is, but what it is isn't really what I care too much about. So for me, I would not imagine myself getting the MCU one, just because, like I said, it'll probably be fine. But with the comic book version being my like all-time favorite, that's not even a Ultron hand. I don't know whose hand that is. Is that Silver Surfer? I think it is. Yeah, with the comic book version one being my all-time favorite, I just don't see myself needing another one. But I mean, people like Harrison Ford. People will probably like it. Just not necessarily my version of a Hulk, and I don't usually go for the MCU versions either. So I don't know. I could be persuaded if he shows up and it's super cool. But you know, yeah. I mean, I have. Oh, you got the Mafex Magneto. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, right? Because he's on the flight stand with effects. Because the '97 Magneto didn't come with any effects. I've got him on a flight stand, but I just his head just isn't really doing it for me. It's a fine Magneto. Don't get me wrong. As far as Magnetos go, if you need a Magneto, it's a decent Magneto. I just think they could do better. It's just something about these '97 X-Men really don't do it for me. So maybe once the cartoon comes out, it'll blow my mind and I'll want to be watching it. But I mean, I know I'll be watching it, but like maybe it'll change up my feelings of how the characters turn out. But it's just a little too stylized for me. Kind of like the What If characters. They're good, but like it's got to be a specific character that I actually really want. Kind of like Captain Carter is cool, and I think she could pass as a comic book character too. Um, but yeah, let's see. Ooh, what armor builders do I want in 2024? Good question. Multiple Man. I would like Multiple Man to come out as an army builder. Um, like the one from, was it the Apocalypse Wave? I think so. Came with the 3 heads. I guess 3 heads, maybe 2 heads. But yeah, I think you could just put that one out. No extra heads, no hands. Put them in the army builder box and send it. I think people would go crazy for it, and I think it would be cool. So, would Hasbro ever do it? Probably not, because I don't think they would want to do that trench coat look. Oh, we got good battery on the camera. Um, but yeah, that would be one of them. Who else would I want? I mean, honestly, I could go for some of the like army builders they've already put out in waves, like this Ultron from the Ursa Major wave. They could put Ultron into the army builder box because they've put him out in 2 waves now. So you don't need to do anything different. No new tooling. Give him less hands is fine. You could even skip the Kirby Crackle and just put him out in the army builder box, and I think that'd be great. Other ones. What are some ones that you want to get? Because I'm sure there's army builders I want. I just can't think of any off the top of my head other than like those couple. I would definitely get some like General Chris Starr characters, but that doesn't really make sense because Chris Starr doesn't have like an army of crystal soldiers. It's just like his pals, like his main group of guys. Is that? No, yeah, that's. Okay, I've got an extra gripping hand for Ultron, but I don't have another Ultron for that hand. Or do this hand? Oh, it's this side. Okay, it's this. But I really hope they, because did we even get any like single packed army builders last year? Because we got the 2-pack with the Shield and Hydra agents or troopers. Yeah, I mean the footage from Legion's Con like doesn't even do it justice. It's super cool, and the people are awesome too. I'm not super outgoing, so I didn't talk to a ton of people, but like people from the podcast would come up and talk to me, which I was super happy about because like I don't like I said, I'm not super outgoing, so I'm not going to really walk up to a group of people and insert myself. Um, but then people would recognize me from the podcast and come up and chat, and that was super fun. Um, and just yeah, all around good people there. Um, Everybody's super happy, excited to be there, super helpful too. So yeah, I would, if you can, Legion's Con would be at the top of my list. And it's like you said, it's the big anniversary year, so it's going to be an amazing wave that they put out, and maybe we'll see a dragon. The official move date, so we're out of here. Our lease ends January 31st. Um, and then I'm not sure when exactly we're going to have the bus finished by, but the goal is going to be to try to have it done by like late spring, so maybe around like April, Mayish. Um, and that's I don't know. We're definitely ready to be getting on the road. We were hoping to be on the road by Legion's Con last year. I was hoping we'd drive the bus out there, but then we took it to the mechanic to get some engine work done. The mechanic couldn't get to it for a month, and then when he did get to it, it took him a month to finish. So we had 2 months, like all of our fall was pretty much spent waiting on the bus to get back to us. So that was a pretty big setback. So if we were hoping for November, which was ambitious, like really ambitious to begin with, November, December, January. So right now would kind of be where we were, but we still only have like the floor done, and we put in a rain guard before we left for vacation so that the water doesn't leak in. But we still need to do like all of the inside. So it's going to be quite a while, but it's going to be nice because we're going to be moving to my in-laws, Savannah's parents, and they're building at their house. So our bus is parked there. So they're building their house. So when they like, put the plumbing in for their kitchen or bathrooms, we can put the plumbing in for our bus. And we just pretty much use the same tools and just way less of the equipment because they're building a whole house. We're just building a bus. So hopefully, I mean, we're done here by January 31st. So after that, you're going to see us, or see me at least with a different setup. Probably going to use more like posters and stuff because I'm not going to have as many figures to display. But I'll still be, like I said, still be recording, and then we'll be on the road. Hopefully, then you'll be seeing me with like really cool backgrounds of like Grand Canyon and Mount Rushmore Ocean, stuff like that. So we'll see. I'll definitely let you know when we're like on the road. On the road. Yeah, Legion's Con is definitely for like the true fans. Like everybody going to Legion's Con is just like excited about being there. Um, and then like you said, general fans can go to um, like New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con, and those are going to be super fun and cool too. Um, it's just a very different atmosphere. Like you're going to have a lot more like artists to go see, like comic book writers and pencilers and all that stuff. So you could go do that if that's what you're interested in. I took some books last year to New York Comic Con to have signed, and like to me that's just such an awkward like interaction to like go up to a comic book writer and be like, hey, will you sign my book for me? Like it just makes me feel like a little kid that's like asking somebody to write their name on their book. So I don't think I really need like I would like Todd McFarlane to sign my #1 Spawn, but outside of that, I don't think I really am going to be searching for many more like comic book art autographs. um, because like I don't really ever display them. It's like I just have them. So do I ever? I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. But then, like it always feels like, what else am I doing at this convention? Because like Marvel Legends doesn't have a very big presence there. And then you can go see the NECA stuff. Like they'll show off like the figures. But it's kind of like I've already seen the figures for the most part. Like I know what they are. So then that just feels a little bit like, why am I here? And it's, I don't know, it just is so much more fun to go to Legions Con and get to see like the art and the new figures and see the people that like pretty much everybody that has a Mythic Legions podcast is there. So you can go talk to them, which is fun because it's you kind of have like these back and forths right now on the live stream or like in the comments. But then you get to like put the face to the screen, and we get to put the face because like I never see any of y'all's faces. Um, like I know what just Collect to Disconnect looks like, but only from his channel and stuff. We never, no, none of us really meet in person unless like you've seen me at Legions Con. Um, so that's a cool way to get to see the community and not just see action figures and stuff. And then even some of the podcasters did like a live like studio audience for their recording. So someday I'd love to do that with Jordan. Might be down the road a little bit more, but I don't know. Things are moving pretty well. Next month we should actually have our first ever sponsor for the podcast. So you guys are going to get to hear some plugs, kind of commercial style. I won't mention them yet because they haven't signed on the dotted line. I'm not giving out any free promotions here. I mean, we've given out plenty of free promotions, but yeah, next month you guys should be hearing us do a lot more plugging, hopefully. So actually going to be seeing a few dollars for the podcast. We get the ad revenue, but you know, after after YouTube takes their cut, we don't, and then Jordan and I split what's left. There's not a ton to really be made on stuff we're doing now. So the sponsor will definitely help out with that a lot. Because then we, you know, we're going to essentially be more than doubling our money in that month. So maybe we'll actually be able to actually order some figures off of YouTube. Let's see. I guess multiple man, yeah. That'd be a cool army builder. Or like if they would just put some of these army builder types within the Build-A-Figure wave, but without the Build-A-Figure piece, I think that would be cool. You still got to pay more for it, but then maybe it could come with more accessories. Let's see. What am I most excited for in figures? Mine is Haya Toys. I don't know Haya Toys or King either. Most excited for me. I'm excited for what's coming out from Mythic Legions this year. I think they're gonna just be incredible. Like if you're not into Mythic Legions yet, this is going to be the year you want to be into Mythic Legions because with Necronominus and Poxus all coming out, they are going to be such cool figures. And then All Stars 6, maybe at the end of the year, maybe the following year. It's just going to get better and better, and it's not going to stop. And they just pack so much stuff in with their figures, like especially if you can get in on the pre-orders. They just had their Rising Suns pre-order closed, so you just barely missed out on that. Oh wait, no, that's today. You can go on there today and get your Rising Suns wave, which there's some really cool figures in there. But Poxus is the wave that like got me into collecting Mythic Legions because of Azahazar and the dragon, Arakagor. Like those are going to be two amazing figures, and even like the like magic, like the wizards and spellcaster type characters, like those even look really cool. Like you're paying $37 and you're getting hands and effects and heads and soft goods like wired capes and robes. I don't know. You got to be collecting Mythic Legions, in my opinion. I love them. Cosmic Legion's also cool. Going to be, I think, one Cosmic Legion wave coming out still to come out this year. and I'm excited for that one too. Bus vlogs, yeah, we're definitely planning on doing something with the bus. I've got some footage of us building the bus. I need to put it together into videos. Haven't done that yet, but it's definitely coming. And then we'll definitely have like videos of us traveling around. I think people are going to be like action figure collecting is pretty niche. Like there's not a ton of us collecting these figures. Um, so I think a lot more folks are going to be interested to see what we're doing with the bus. Um, but then I also, with being able to travel around and do everything, I'd like to be able to go to like different toy stores and comic book shops and be able to do some like strong collectors like in person like hunting and stuff like that. I got to figure out how to do that though, because a lot of the toy hunting videos I've seen kind of get a little bit drawn out and not so fun. And I don't really want to be walking around the whole store with like my camera. I'd almost rather it be more like a commercial for the for the store and kind of help them promote themselves. And maybe that ends up being like a good like on the road income too. Um, so we'll see. Let's see. I think I want to take this guy with me. This guy gets to go on the bus. Bringing Hydra Troopers. Where's my bus? Where did I put Black Widow? Is she back here? Oh, she's back there. All right, put her with Black, or put him with Black Widow. And the cosplay would be weird. My wife actually cosplayed at Legion's Con. Um, she was one of the figures, um, Ravenna. So, and they had some like crazy good cosplayers there. They're like professionals. They dressed up as Alithia and Red Death, and then the day before they were Skeleton and Goblin, and they were so good. They gave my wife some tips on how to like cut the fabric or cut the material and everything to make it look even better. But yeah, they were really good. But even Savannah's, it was her first time ever doing cosplay, but she was still, I thought it looked really cool. But yeah, I mean the people there are pretty outgoing too. Like some of them are, so you can easily join in and meet a lot of people. Uh, Congrats on the sponsor. That was one of our goals, like mainly mine. I Jordan's helpful, but I kind of head up a lot of the stuff for Strong Collectors. So um, yeah, getting like an official sponsor was one of my goals for 2024, and then that was pretty exciting to be able to check that off within like the first week. And like I said, they haven't signed on the dotted line yet, but um, it seems pretty likely. You guys have any makeup brushes? Use that as a duster. I've had this Falcon cap on display since he came out. This was the first action figure my wife ever bought me. She bought me, it was kind of funny because she bought me this figure because she was like, oh, it's a Build-A-Figure. It's the first one to kind of make, you got to collect the wings, is everything. And she's like, that'll be something cool that you can like, spend some time hunting them down. Like 2 weeks later, got all the pieces, and she was like, that was supposed to be a much longer hunt than just 2 weeks, but I don't know, it was kind of cool. And I had like other buddy like Clay, he got into collecting like shortly after Jordan and I did, so he had some extra pieces he sent me, and then yeah, I was able to buy some of the other pieces back before they were so super cheap. But this is one that I'll probably never sell, even though it's not like the world's most sought after figure. It's just kind of that nostalgic of, it was a gift from my wife that I will probably keep forever. So how do I store it? Oh, I'll probably just pull all the pieces apart, store them in like that. All right, what else do we got? What did you miss? Oh man, everything. No, we've just been kind of like catching up on the rectangular leaks, but we're going to have an episode coming out tomorrow of that with Jordan and I's reactions and thoughts about like what those figures are. And then talking about like the bus, Savannah and I building up the shuttle bus to live in for a year or more. I mean, if we live in it for a year, it kind of equals one year of rent, and then if we live in it, anything past that, it's kind of like going into savings, which like we'll still be spending money on like going to different parks, different like adventures as we're in the bus. So there'll still be some expenses on top of just living itself, but there's not going to be any like electric bill or, I mean, there'll still probably be a water bill. I don't really know how water works in the bus. If we got to pay for water when you go somewhere, probably I would assume you would have to, but also I don't know. Maybe if you pay for a campground, you don't. We'll figure it out. Can't be that bad. Ooh, a three-headed dragon from Godzilla. Okay, yeah, that does sound pretty cool. I could see why you'd be excited for that. How big is it? Is it going to be like HasLab Galactus size, or is it like more manageable? Because that'd be cool if it was giant, but you know, you can only have so many giant action figures before you run out of room. Uh, yeah, if you're wanting trolls, um, I mean, I would probably try to go to one of the conventions if you can, because they're going to be a little bit cheaper there. I was able to get um, the Forest Troll from the in stock sale, which was only like $79 or something like that, or maybe a little bit more, 80, 89. I don't remember how much it was. But yeah, trolls are pretty expensive. They are pretty cool. I will say they're not like crazy articulated or anything. So you definitely watch like some review videos. Um, I don't think I have my troll out here right now. He might, or is he packed? Oh, I don't have my troll out here, but like I said, they're you don't want to get them as your first legion. I just started getting into Mythic Legions when the All Star Trolls were up for pre-order, and that's when we did our interview with Jeremy Gerard, and he even like recommended, because I was like, oh, should I like buy a troll? And he was like, yeah, probably not, because it's not going to give you a great feel for what Mythic Legions are exactly. Like they're a very like specific type of legion. Um, so if you want one though, it's cool, and he's a pretty cool one. I liked the Forest Troll because I liked the like tusks and the beard. Um, but yeah, it's definitely expensive. That's why I don't think I'll ever get a slog, just because he's expensive and he's not even as big as the trolls. Um, so I think I'd rather save the money there. Um, yes, you should be able to pre-order, or you can change um, your address for the pre-order. I think as long as they haven't shipped it yet, um, you can update your shipping address. Like I may have to do that. Like if Jordan decides to move within the next year, I'll have to change my pre-order um, address for that. It's usually not. I mean, they're pretty responsive. It's not a giant toy company like Hasbro where you've got to like if you try to return anything from Hasbro, you've got to have the tracking number, you've got to have the barcode on the figure, the barcode on the box. It seems like you have to have the mailman's maiden name, social security, everything. Um, but yeah, Mythic Legions is a little bit easier for Horsemen. Um, like I said, smaller company, so they're not going to try to like screw you or anything like Hasbro. Um, yeah, just send them a message and they're pretty helpful. These guys come with anything? Maybe they come. Yeah, they come with this. Um, but yeah, I mean, do it like if you pre-ordered Poxus, I would do it soon because they should be getting that shipment in soon. Um, but if you like ordered Necronominus or All Star 6, which is going to be like later in the year, and you haven't moved yet, then you've still got time. So yeah, just send them an email, I think is how you update your shipping information. Oh yeah, that's true. If you didn't directly pre-order from um, Four Horsemen, then it might be different. But I would still assume that like as long as they haven't shipped yet, any company would should be able to update your shipping address. Um, like maybe there would be some sort of change in like if you were shipping them from instead of Um, like if you live in New Jersey and that's where they're at, and you have to change it to like San Francisco, that might be a charge to like cover the change. Um, but I don't think it should be an issue. Packing up the aim guns now. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't dust them too often, but I also try to like rotate my displays. Um, like that one's kind of been there for a while. The Galactus one up top has been there for a while. But I try to rotate them because I don't have a ton of room to display. So I kind of like to switch up the displays to keep things fun and fresh, especially for the background of the podcast. I don't want it to be the same for too long. Ooh, that's going to be a big figure. If it's 14 inches tall with huge wings, that's gonna be a good display. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look it up because I don't really know anything at all about Godzilla. But I mean, any giant dragon type creatures sounds cool in my book. I wonder how that would look with Mythic Legions. Probably would work. Yeah, Mythic Legions pre-order. Let's see. I got um, the bear. I got the Yoshinari. I got Attila. The girl barbarian. And I got the barbarian weapons pack. Let's see. I think I got one more. Did I? Let me look it up. We'll pull it up and see. Because, yeah, I got my pre-order in before we left for vacation because I didn't want to get like delayed or anything and then not be able to get my pre-order in. Um, so, yeah, I made sure that I got that in about a week ago now, a little bit more than a week ago. But I usually always wait towards the end of the pre-order process just because I like to watch the pop and swaps and see what all the figures look like in hand and hear Jeremy and other folks talk about them. So yeah, I got Attilas, I got the Barbarian Weapons Pack, Bodvar the Bear, I got Manisha Cinderhorn, Neve, the Girl Barbarian, like I said, um, Rigarion, and Yoshinari. Yeah, Yoshinari Kari. So those are the ones I got. Pretty excited for them. I think it's going to be a cool wave when it gets in hand. It's going to take a while, which is fine with me. Like I said, we're going to be in the bus for a while, so they can take their time. I won't be upset at all. Put those in with him. And yeah, I can't wait for the like Necronominus stuff. Like Poxus is going to be so cool when it gets here. It's a little unfortunate Marvel Legends is up to their game because, like in one of the upcoming episodes we just recorded, um, it was nice when Marvel Legends wasn't doing very cool figures or like bare bones, and I could just not get them. But now they're putting out pretty cool stuff that I want to collect and cuts into my Mythic Legions funds, or I just have to, sell more old stuff to cover the new stuff that I want to get. I bet that was the one. Oh, whatever. Do I collect any Storm collectibles? No, that's one that I've never gotten into. Um, and honestly, I probably won't get into it just because, like I was just saying, I've got Mythic Legions, I've got Marvel Legends, NECA Gargoyles. We're getting Savage Crucible, Legendary. I get some of the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So, I don't want to get into Storm collectibles or really anything else, honestly. I'll dabble in some Mafex for my DC figures because the McFarlane DC Multiverse just really isn't doing it for me anymore. Those are just, I don't know, poor figures in my opinion. And it's not like Mythic Legions where Mythic Legions is getting better and better. McFarlane, I would say, is getting better, but it's not anything to write home about. Like, yeah, he's throwing in some extra hands, but it's still not very good articulation at all. So for those reasons, it's just like it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to get those, unfortunately. Um, let's see. Ordered the bear, the unicorn, and the red guy. Yeah, those are cool. I like Scapular. He looks cool. I don't need all that stuff he comes with, and I don't love the soft goods. I mean, honestly, I could probably order it and just sell the extra stuff that I don't want, like the soft goods. But also, that's kind of a cool alternate look for him. It's one that I'm happy that's made, but not one that I'm gonna get. Um, and you got the Arachagore from the Poxus Wave. Oh man, this Rhino from Diamond Select is heavy. Like that thing's probably 20 pounds. Or maybe not 20 pounds, but dang, you'd throw that through a window for sure. That's a weapon. Oh, me, another aim weapon in here. Have that. All right. Yeah, Arachagore is one that got me into Marvel Legends, kind of. Let's pack up him. Got the Fallen one. We need some more Marvel Legends Heralds of Galactus, in my opinion, because we've got a good amount, but they just kind of stopped making Heralds of Galactus, which is unfortunate because I've got a giant HasLab and he needs some more minions. I don't know, are Heralds minions? Would you count those as minions, or are they? I mean, obviously they're Heralds, but dust him off. I like this Fallen one. I think he was a little bare bones. I don't love that he came with the same accessories. Pulled out the thing and I got a Goliath hand holding on to it. Back in there. But yeah, it would have been cool to get some more accessories with him, but I think it's a decent figure. Maybe an alternate head sculpt, but I've also never read anything with the Fallen one. So if you've got any good recommendations on stories to read for him, let me know. I don't know if too many people in the replays, if you're in the replays and you've made it this far, leave a comment because I'd be interested to know that you've listened to this for an hour and a half. Is that how long we're into this? All right, Fallen one. Who's next? Nova. Take her off the flight stand. Probably just gonna pack the flame in there by itself. What do you guys use to dust your figures? Like canned air, or do you guys use a makeup brush also? Because I got that from Walmart for like $2. It seems like a pretty good price for a soft duster. I thought anyway. I need to dust my shelves more than I need to dust my figures because, like I said, I like to shake up the displays. Do we just lose the fire effect? Where the heck did it go? Oh, there it is. What are some other, I mean, like obviously Airwalker. Do you think they would ever make the Aunt May Herald of Galactus? I think that's a pretty long shot, but also Marvel Legends has made Chris Starr, so there's nothing outside of the realm of possibilities for Marvel Legends, it seems. Okay, is she gonna fit in there with her hair? She's kind of a cool figure. I think this is, I mean, she's a tier in a HasLab, but I mean, as far as just a solid gold figure goes, with fire hair, it's a pretty good figure. And yeah, she fits. I didn't know if she would fit there with her hair. All right. Golden Oldie? No chance. Yeah, all right, fine. Probably not. Unlikely. All right, let's grab Silver Surfer. I got show you guys. We got Silver Surfer and Fire Lord hanging from the ceiling. I'll pull those down. Just a thumbtack and fishing line. Holy cats. He got very dusty. He's all cobwebby and everything. That's probably the dustiest figure I've got. He hasn't even been up there for, I guess he's been up there all summer, all fall. Which Silver Surfer do you guys prefer? I go with the HasLab version, but I know some people prefer the Walgreens version, and I also really like the old Hasbro version, the Toys R Us exclusive, I think it was. I like that he's got the double pinned-in feet. It's a little unfortunate this one's not pinless. I wonder how long it's going to be before we get a pinless Silver Surfer, because I think we should get a Silver Surfer in the retro Fantastic Four line. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, you guys didn't even remind me that Nova's got extra hands. Put those in with her. Why does it seems like kind of excessive for Nova to come with open hands, fisted hands, and then gripping hands. I don't think she really needs gripping hands too bad, in my opinion. But what do I know? Maybe she's grabbing fire. All right, then we need Silver Surfer stuff. Marvel Select, yeah. I mean, what did they have come out that was? I mean, I don't really do Select, and I can't really think of anything that they did that was mind-blowing. I mean, they had Iceman, which I heard was kind of disappointing from some people. Mr. Fantastic, which had cool effects, I'll give you that, but not really. I don't know, I just don't really like their articulation. For their bigger figures, yeah, they're good. Like that Rhino is excellent. I think some of their other bigger things like Titanium Man, their Destroyer until Hasbro did theirs. Apocalypse, I just didn't like that head sculpt really at all. Thought he looked too constipated for me. But I liked that he came with alternate hand effects. I thought that was a good touch that I wish Hasbro would do more of. All right, he's not going to quite seal, but he's close enough. Yeah, McFarlane fan, but he's losing you as a customer with price. Yeah, Greg, I think it sounds like the $40 price tag isn't going to be something that like sticks around. That's just kind of a one-off, at least hopefully. I wonder too if it was like they were going to like test and see if people bought figures at that price, and if they did, if they were going to kind of stick with it. But I think they're seeing pretty obviously that people are not happy to be paying those prices. $40 for a McFarlane figure is not worth it in almost all collectors' opinions. And for like Todd, he talked on our podcast about how he wants to be the last person to raise his prices, and $40 was just an insane price raise. Like you can't tell me that there's a single McFarlane standard figure, even a Build-A-Figure wave, that is worth $40. And we were talking about how we wonder if, because on the McFarlane page it says that Spectre is sold out, we were kind of speculating, is that true, or is that kind of like a marketing tactic to be like, oh, if it says sold out and then we put it back in stock, people are going to like rush it? I don't know. I'm kind of done with McFarlane's. Maybe, I mean, because there's supposed to be a Batman and Spawn, or no, not Batman and Spawn, a Spawn and McFarlane 2-pack, like Todd McFarlane himself as an action figure. That intrigues me. We'll see what the price is and maybe wait for the sale. But that at least seems interesting to me. Also, if you've got Morgue, I would recommend you use a Mythic Legions axe. I think that looks a lot cooler than his little axe that Hasbro gave him. Also, he could have used fisted hands, I think. I think we could have swapped out Nova's gripping hands for fisted hands for Morg. That's my opinion. Oh, missing some stuff. Silver Surfer needs an update for sure. I would also love to see Hasbro pay a little more attention to chrome paint. Yeah, I think the update on Silver Surfer should come in the retro card. I think that would be a cool thing to keep in package and to have loose. And yeah, make him pinless. You could definitely do a good job. Give him toe joints too. I think he could be a good candidate for the Renew Your Vows body. Select Apocalypse. Iceman sucks. Yeah. Sabretooth looks good. Sabretooth looks good. I don't know if you've had him yet. He sucks. He's got like no articulation at all. Oh geez, I can't even reach that. Yeah, I got that one because it looked cool, and then promptly sold it because it was kind of a dud of a figure. I mean, maybe it's kind of standard articulation for what a Diamond Select is, but I couldn't stand it. It was just a brick. So, I mean, they do some decent figures, like if you don't need it to move and you're not going to like pose it dynamically, then it doesn't really matter how articulated it is. But for Sabretooth, I would much rather have a Marvel Legends style articulation because, yeah, the articulation on the Select was pretty poor. I think those are supposed to be. I'm not sure whose flame effect that is. I think that was supposed to be Firestar. Not Fire. Yeah, Firestar. Yeah, but I think I sold that first Firestar and then kept the flame effect to use for my Firelord. Did Firelord come with flame effects? I'm thinking he didn't, but now that I say that, it seems like he should have. But maybe I'm just thinking in terms of what Hasbro should have done and not what they actually did. All right, I remember Firelord being a lot gummier. Maybe I was a little too harsh on him. Maybe he's solidified over. I mean, I had the apartment pretty cold while we were on vacation, so maybe it's just cold. Yeah, the Toy Biz Silver Surfer was pretty cool, especially for the time. Like that one came with the Howard the Duck, and it had that like asteroid base that you could port the figure onto. Yeah, that was a good figure. I could never, like playability wise, it would never stay in the port, or like the magnets weren't strong enough to like hold them into different poses as you were flying them around. So those reasons kind of made me not love them as much. Let's see, red hands. Oh, I'll get the flaming Q-tip in there too. Got a pair of red hands. It's a gripping hand, a trigger finger hand with a vertical hinge, and then kind of like a claw hand. Like, whose hands are those? Because they're not Captain America. And I don't think I have any other red-handed figures left. So who did I forget to pack in his accessories? Is Doctor Strange going to fit into a bag? Let's see. Oh, Savage Silver Surfer is actually one that I would really love to see an update for. I would like that a lot because the Savage Silver Surfer that came out in the old Hasbro waves was cool, but I think Hasbro could do a much better job now. It's not going to fit. But yeah, it's just kind of like, why would they really do an update of Silver Savage? Oh, Butter Ray Bill did look pretty cool. Yeah, I'll give you that. That was a good Diamond Select. I haven't had him in person, but yeah, that is one that looked really good. like the Select better than Mezco. That's, for the price, that's understandable. For dynamic posings, I don't know. Maybe. Microfiber towel to dust off the figures. Yeah, honestly, water is probably the easiest way. Just shake them around in some water and then leave them out to dry. There's not really, I mean, for Marvel Legends, you're not going to hurt them that way. Yeah, I mean, Draven sent, I'd be happy to take some prints. You can send me an email at strongcollectors@gmail.com. And then once they get here, I'll happily show them off either on the live stream or in one of the episodes. I want to start doing some more Mythic Legion episodes, but usually the Mythic Legion episodes don't do nearly as well as other stuff. Even like checking out other folks' channels, like the viewership for Mythic Legions is pretty low. But since I love them, I still want to do them. I want to do a whole series of going through and ranking kind of each faction, kind of like I did when I ranked all of my Mythic Legions. So if you haven't seen that one, go back and watch that because that's kind of cool. But so I just took like the kind of shots of each of my figures and then ranked them into like my favorites, like you must have, and then like figures that I've sold or planning to sell are at the bottom of the list, and then kind of those like figures that I've just pulled apart for parts. So yeah, go check that one out. That one's cool. And then I want to like build off of that and like, because I love just going through the faction lists and being like, oh, this is like my favorite from this one. This one I wouldn't necessarily need. And going through like that. I think I forgot to put these size in with Lady Bullseye. So she's going in with Lady Daredevil. Mixing my accessories, that's going to come back to be annoying in the future. So y'all can remind me that I put Lady Bullseye's size in with Elektra Daredevil. Let's see, what else do we got? Ironheart. Let's pack her up. Who are these red hands? Why do I have extra hands just laying around? Those aren't Magnetos. Oh, those are Crystar's hands. That's why. Okay. I'll put those back over there. Because I'm going to take Crystar with me in the bus. Ironheart. What do you guys think? Should Ironheart go with me in the bus? She's a fantastic figure, one of my favorite characters. I would like an update on the pink armor. But does she deserve the bus? I think there's a good argument for it. She might get put into the possibility pile. Let's see. So yeah, Draven, if you wanted to send some stuff, you just, like I said, send me an email, strongcollectors@gmail.com, and then I can send you my address. And then depending on when that is, it would be a different address. So yeah, just let me know. So yeah, I would love to show those off on the podcast. That'd be cool. Yeah, the HasLab Surfer is really the only one you need. I think they could have added that extra effect with him. Would have been a cool idea, but you know, not completely necessary. Kind of necessary in my opinion, but it's all right. I don't even display him with the power set thing, and I like the gold one of the Walgreens one a little bit more, but not totally needed. All right, try to take this cap off of here without snapping his shield. Do it live on camera. Nope, not this time. All right. I think this cap is going to go with me in the bus. Actually, I know this cap is going with me in the bus. So we'll set him over to the side. Do I have... Yeah, let me see this shield. Does that look good on him? It's a little small. I'll probably take it with anyway. I need another Captain America shield that doesn't have the holes in it, but this one will do fine for now. The 50th is definitely the best, or 20 is definitely the best cap, in my opinion. Let's see. You like the lives with me and Jordan better than the shorts? Yeah, I've been trying to do the shorts just to like try to bring in some new folks that maybe haven't seen our stuff, but the shorts really aren't doing super great. But that's fine. I don't really expect a ton from them. I just throw in our episodes onto like an AI thing, and then it generates us a bunch of shorts, and then I pick out the better ones from that, and then use them. So I, I definitely want to do more shorts of like actual figures in hand talking, but those are a lot more time consuming. And when we're already editing the full length videos, it's not a lot of time for it. Let's see. Select should have done better with the head sculpts. I'm assuming that's for Sandman. Yeah, I had that Sandman one, and it seemed not right for some reason. I don't know. I just didn't love it. I like that he came with extra like effects and stuff, but yeah, head sculpt was maybe why. Does Jordan collect a mythic? He has some. He hasn't done a full dive into it like I've told him to do several times, um, but it's kind of understandable. He's more of a Mezco man, at least sort of. So he's spending money on those, which is like the equivalent of like three or three Mythic Legions. So he's got the moose. He's got a bunch of skeletons. Um, so yeah, he's got some. I think he needs more, but that's just me. Oh no, if you send some stuff, Draven, we'll definitely show it off. Or like, I mean, um, like my setup's going to be a little bit different, so maybe I'll be able to put it up in the background. I'm not sure if I will or not, but yeah, I love all the Legions art and everything. So yeah, yeah, you're not. I understand you're not asking us to do anything, but definitely show it off. Let's see. I've never even had that new Bucky cap. I've seen some people really like it. Um, he's just I've never seen him at my Walmart, and I wasn't really jonesing for him. I would like to read those comics though, because I remember those were kind of cool as a kid. So I need to go back and reread them now um, as an adult. What do you think? Should I bring Peely in the bus with me? I feel like that makes sense. Like Peely deserves to go in the bus. That'd be make for some fun photo shoots with him. I'm just gonna leave those separate. I got Peely and was kind of disappointed. He's not a great figure. Not really worth. I don't know how much they were when these came out. Like 25 bucks. Probably not worth that. Um, okay, let's see. It's got alternate face plates, which is kind of interesting. Then I've got the little Ms. Marvel action figure. So give that to him. Definitely not a super mint on box collector. That's kind of a beat up box, but it works. All right, let me see. Um, do I use Skynet? No, I'm not sure what we're going to use exactly. Um, I have um, a bunch of stuff from like Instagram of other bus travelers that like have a whole setup. So I need to go and look at what they've got going on for that. Um, Jordan just sent me a link to Big Bad Toy Store looking at Doctor Doom. He's saying 155 isn't as bad as he thought. And he's asking if I've ever seen the Mezco Green Goblin. Of course I have, Jordan. I've seen the Mezco Green Goblin. I'm a strong collector. Um, I don't know. I'm still trying to talk him into buying that Doctor Doom because I think he'd like it, but also 155 is quite a bit for a figure, and he could be getting a lot of Mythic Legions for that money. I would say I do a majority, like the first 100 videos, I did all of those. I don't remember when Jordan started jumping in. Um, It was a little bit my fault. I was just a little bit too, I don't know, not overbearing, but like, I mean, I could have given him some more control over the editing and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, Jordan will edit about half of them now. Um, I have a little bit more time in the evenings to edit when I'm at work, and he can't edit while he's at work. So I try to do some of the longer ones so that he doesn't have to. Um, but yeah, we kind of split it up a little bit more evenly now. Before, let's see. Oh, isn't Skynet okay, I was thinking of Starlink for the um, web stuff. Um, but yeah, let me see those. Yeah, collect to disconnect. You ask, so you probably care. I'll give you a little bit more details than maybe other people care. But we originally started out with editing on iMovie, which was pretty easy and it was just simple to learn. But then I was showing one of my like professional like photographer, videographer friends, and he does like photos and videos for the Olympic weightlifting team. And he was showing me like DaVinci is going to let you do way better quality. So that's, I think you had made a comment when we switched to uploading in 4K, and that was because we started using better software. So yeah, DaVinci is what we use now for editing, and it's a lot more capabilities, and we haven't even scratched the surface on all the things that we can do with it. But it's so much better. Like, and you guys have probably seen the quality improvements of just like clarity in the videos, because before we were only able to upload in like 1080p at best, maybe. But now it's everything, pretty much everything um, is uploaded in 4K. And then we record our own separate audios too, um, so that we have better audio than what Zoom is going to give us. So I record in GarageBand and Jordan records in Audacity. Eventually I'll probably figure out how to do that better too. But that's what we've got so far for that. And then, yeah, we just sync up the audio, and yeah, better quality for audio and video. Let me see. Never saw a packing video before. I just figured if I've got to pack up all my toys and stuff, I might as well be on live and chat while I do it. It's not very efficient because I've packed probably 20 figures in 2 hours, but get to hang out with y'all. Nah, I didn't get your joke. Sorry, my bad. Still edit on iMovie. Love editing on my phone in the middle of the night. Oof, I could not edit on my phone. No thanks. No, I always edit on the laptop, and it's kind of nice on DaVinci. It's like one touch, like key things, so you can switch to like your cut tool and split, things like that. That like in iMovie, I'm pretty sure you have to like right click, split, right click, and like, which isn't like the end of the world. It's not that hard to do, but it's just a little bit more simple, quicker, I feel like, on DaVinci. So, and it's free too. So I would recommend check it out. You're going to be able to get a lot better upload quality. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, look into DaVinci. I mean, send me an email too, collect to disconnect, because I like to kind of get a group together of like smaller creators. My cousin's starting out; he's closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and I know you're pretty close if you're not there yet. Um, just like for us to be able to kind of have like a um, kind of a group to help each other get more popular and get more seen, and improve all of our stuff that we're doing. So yeah, send me an email and I'd like to connect more with you for sure. Strongcollectors@gmail.com, and then we'll talk. I can give you a lot more stuff on Da Vinci too. Like I made Jordan a whole video on kind of like a crash course, just like the very basic stuff on what to do with it. But yeah. Yeah, understandable. I do a lot of my editing. Will usually take me kind of later into the night, so I'm. But also, I have my job is pretty good where it lets me, like, I'm able to do some of my editing while I'm on the clock too. So um, that's really helpful. All right, I think that's all of my smaller figures that I can fit into regular bags. Oh, I've got this Black Widow. We'll pack her up. She's going to be headless, but that's okay. I like this gray Black Widow, but now that we've got the new one, I think I'm going to display more her in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type of look. Display stand out of here. But yeah, this gray one is a pretty good one. And having those accessories is pretty cool to have with the others to be able to mix and match. Okay, there's that. Anything else going to get packed up right now? I could pack up Red Skull, Baron Zemo. All right. Baron Zemo, we got a couple yellow hands and Blaster. Oh, maybe are those? No, he's got green hands. Still don't know who these red hands belong to. Another pair of red hands over here that I don't know where they go. Maybe I'll post a picture of all my spare parts that I don't know whose extras they are. See if anybody can help out. Alright, Baron Zemo's got his sword. He's got two alternate hands, and I've got the Toy Biz pistol weapon to go along with him. See you later, Judge Dreads. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably going to jump off of here in like 2 figures because I got to clean this stuff up and get unpacked from our vacation because we still got everything in our suitcases and stuff. All right. Red Skull. I don't even know if this is the machine gun he came with. Is this the machine gun that he came with, or is this just some other? Is this just some other random machine gun that came with somebody else? Because if it didn't come with him, I like it. Oh. Am I back now? Yes, I'm back now. All right. AirPod died, had to switch sides. All right. Red Skull came with. Red Skull was a great figure. Oh, he came with this smaller machine gun thing. And the Tesseract. And just a whole bunch of hands. I don't even know if these are all his hands. Some of these hands might be Frogman's, honestly. Goes up with him. Alright, I need to get bigger bags for some of these bigger characters. But I think for now, let me see. Oh, that's Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. I'll get him packed up. Now the question is, do I take Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man with me in the bus? Or do I take the 3-pack Spider-Man with me in the bus? Because I think the 3-pack Spider-Man is a little bit more that classic look that I'm going for. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And then then the question is, do I need Amazing Fantasy also? But it's not really worth selling Amazing Fantasy since the old one or the Target one just came out. So yeah, I'll just pack him away because I think that this Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man is like top-notch Spider-Man. I just like the brighter colors of the 3-pack Amazing Friends Spider-Man. Yeah, good figure. Yeah. Your cat ate the Tesseract. Kind of like a Flurgan. Is that what you're... Alright, web line, web effects, bunch of extra hands. If you've watched the show, you know Jordan and I really are not a big fan of these web lines, but I've got some custom wire webs that are way better. I want to do a Mythic Legion pop and swap show too. Maybe I'll do that before I pack up the Mythic Legions, we'll see. Or maybe I'll just pop and swap with the figures that I decide to take with me. Yeah, but I got 2 machine guns. I think that one might have came with like Fortnite stuff or something. I don't know. Kind of a bigger weapon. We'll pack up 20th Iron Man. That one's going to come with me in the bus. It's got the smoke effects. Alternate head that I probably won't use too often. Alternate hands and him. And blast effects. I think I'll probably also pack in some of these darker blast effects, some of these blast effects, and that's empty. I got some pretty good progress here. Got a lot of empty accessory bins. I'll probably bring a couple of these. Those are different. These. Yeah. Oh, whose hands are those? Alright, that's probably good. Got a couple of human hands too, just like flesh hands. Don't know who those go to, don't know who those white hands go to. So in the Hydra stuff, is there any Hydra character that has white hands? I don't think, oh, that goes over here. Alright, anyway. Let's see. Didn't even think of that. I'm glad I could help you make that connection. But, alright. I'm going to end it there. Thank you all for hanging out. Like I said, we're going to have another episode of Strong Collectors talking about all of the leaks that Rectangular just put out. That'll be live tomorrow, so I'm going to go edit that right now. And then we're going to have an MCU wave kind of prediction, speculation episode coming, and then a like what is happening in 2024 so far of figures that are out now, figures that are officially released, what we have on pre-order, kind of that kind of an episode. So those are the 3 episodes that you have to look forward to. Go check those out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Go back and watch all of our other videos again. Get us those views. Share them with your friends. And until next time, stay strong.